What up, what up, what up, what up, what up? The real MVPs here, and today I'm going to teach you a little bit how to get yourself started in the bass fishing, or maybe a kid, or your girlfriend, or somebody you might know, maybe one of your friends. You want to teach them how to start, but you don't really know how to teach somebody how to start fishing. That's what this video is about, is for beginners, from step A to the big boys. If I got anybody that's new to fishing, that's never really been fishing before, the first thing I'm throwing on is a grub. Make sure the bait's lined up. I always go tail down first. You can swim it like this. It swims better with the tail down. All I did, put it through the nose, push it through the back, and come down on it. Now you have a complete rig ready to fish that will catch big ones, that will catch small ones, that will catch crappie, brim, bass, everything in the pond, lake, wherever you're fishing. All you do with this bait right here, throw it out and swim it back to you. That is why this bait right here is the first bait that I'm going to tell any kid, girlfriend, friend, anybody, anybody new to fishing. This is what I'm putting in their hand first. Throw it out, swim it back. Throw it out, swim it back. Throw it out, swim it back. If it ain't working, throw it out, switch up the speed, swim it back. Switch up the speed, swim it back. Switch up the speed, swim it back. Figure out what speed they're on, because most of the time they're always hitting this. It's a real finesse bait. It's a grub. The color I like is all white. Usually with an all white jig head. The next hooks you will need is a round bend and an EWG. 3 to 4 aught. Like I said, 6 baits, 3 hooks. Let's keep it simple, but let's still catch studs. The real MVP status, you already know how we rockin', baby. What you need is a wide gap, 3 to 4 aught, EWG, 3 to 4 aught, round bend. You need both of those hooks, and a 1/8 grub head. I mean, it's that simple. It's literally that simple if you want to learn how to bass fish. 1/8 grub head, 3 to 4 aught EWG extra wide gap hook, three to 4 aught round bend. It's literally that simple. So, why do you need these hooks? Let's say you get tired of throwing this, it stops working for the day, or catching too much grass. It's an open hook. It has a tendency to catch a lot of grass sometimes. Before I go to these, like I said, I rig these tail down, and then once you start getting bites and the bait starts getting tore up, as soon as all this backside gets tore up, flip it over, and you got a whole new fresh side to use perfectly good. I start with the tail down, though. I start with it down. It just helps it swim better. Ribbon tail worm. That's what your next option is. That's what I'm giving anybody fishing with me that don't want to throw that grub, or that is catching too much grass, wants to try to change something up. That's when I go to the ribbon tail worm. Now for the ribbon tail, I use a round bend, as you can see, coupled with some Wu tungsten. Wu tungsten. Go get you some Wu tungsten right now, dude. Right now. If you don't have no Wu in your tackle box, you are slipping, man. You slipping. I mean, I'm telling you, every spring, I mean, it works all the time, but every spring there's a certain time that I have to have that Wu tungsten. Ribbon tail worm. I always go with the round bend. You can go with the wide gap. Sometimes you will lose fish with that EWG though. That round bend kind of helps set the hook a little bit better. It's just more in line with the bait. Start off with the nose of the hook and the nose of the bait. Put the nose of the hook inside the nose of the bait. Just a tad bit. Just a tad bit. Literally just a little bit. Slide it all the way down. And now your hook is upside down. Turn it into the inside of the belly of the bait. It's okay. This bait will naturally want to come sit up on top of that ridge right here on this hook. And now what you did was flip it, and now you go through the belly of the bait, and now you rigged up. Now you're not done. If you got weeds or whatever else in the pond, you want to put that hook inside the back of that worm, and now you're fully weedless. You can throw this bait anywhere around logs, grass, docks, stumps, laydowns. If it's too light, like I said, take that Wu tungsten, get a barber stop, put the weight, and then the bait. Boom, boom, boom. It's literally that simple. The barber stops, you just slide on the line, slide the weight on in front of your bait and your hook, and now you got a weighted Texas rig. A lot of people use these Cincos or stick bait style of baits. I didn't come up fishing them like that. Honestly, I got by without these. Honestly, it was that grub, it was the ribbon tail worm, trick worm, and I didn't really throw the Cincos like that, I don't know. I don't know why I didn't throw the Cincos like that. Just wasn't a big thing of mine. But from there, you got grub, ribbon tail worm, and now, alright, next bait, now that you have learned about the EWG and the round bend, or the round bend and the EWG, I apologize. Next bait I would advise you to learn would be the fluke. You hook it the same way as you hook a worm or any other soft plastic. Texas rig, weightless. A lot of people throw the belly weight. We don't do that at the real MVPs. We don't belly weight our hooks at the real MVPs. I mean, we only do that unless you deep water. We don't do that. Weightless fluke. Weightless fluke. Weightless fluke. You work these ribbon tails. Okay. Throw them out. Cast them out. Let them sink to the bottom. 1, 2, 3, 4. Raise your rod tip up. Keep reeling. 1, 2, 3, 4. Raise your rod tip up. Keep reeling. 1, 2, 3, 4. Keep reeling. That's how I work my ribbon tail worms. Play with the speed. Sometimes they want it slower. Sometimes they want it faster. Sometimes you can just drag it. Just drag it on the bottom. Just drag it like 6 to 10 inches. 6 to 10 inches. Just drag it and let it sit. Your flutes, I'm going to cast them out. Let them sink a little bit. And pop, pop. Pop, pop. Pop, pop. Pop, pop. That's your main cadence right there. It's 2, 2, 2, 2, 2, 2, 2, 2. You can play with the speed. You can play with how many times you twitch it. 1, 2, 1, 2, 3, 4. Play with that. It's a guarantee you'll get bite on the flute. My next bait I will show you would be the lizard. Can't go wrong with a lizard. Can't go wrong with a lizard. And you work it the same way as you work a worm. With the dragging method, I would drag, 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 drag. Keep it on the bottom and just drag it real slow. Always try to keep that tail moving. You know, keep it bumping off something. Keep it moving. Keep it like basically in contact with the bottom, but you want to be like, even, you know, it's just moving it, you know, just moving it. Like, it's a feel you're gonna have to get whenever you bass fish. It's just a feel you gotta get, you know, get it to the bottom and just keep it down there. Next bait, some kind of top water frog. This is not a frog, but I didn't have a frog at the moment. But some kind of top water that you can experience a blow up on. You can miss your first top water fish, get excited, get hooked on the sport. This is the first introduction to really true power fishing. But once you get a bite on the top water, it's gonna change your life. You know what I'm saying? It's just a different feeling, man. Like, you gonna have that bite and you're just gonna be like, oh yeah, I know what it's about now. Those are the baits. Those are the baits. But this is what is beautiful about all of these baits. The grub, the flute, the worm, top water, and the lizard. This is what's beautiful about these baits. Throwing this, now you know how to throw a spinner bait, crankbait, swim bait, whatever else that swims. Now you know how to throw and understand the retrieve of something that swims, and playing with the speed, you know, twitching it every now and then, jerking it, whatever. It's a steady retrieve for me. I don't really twitch it much, other than if grass gets on it. But now you know how to swim a bait. Now you know how to drag a bait. Now you know how to drag a bait. Now you know how to twitch a bait. Now you know how to twitch a bait, but also learn what a topwater bite feels like and looks like, you got all your bases covered. You can catch fish year round with these techniques. You know how to swim a bait. You can swim a spinner bait, crankbait, grub, swim bait, jig. You can swim a bait. You can drag a bait, creature baits, crawfish, lizards, jigs. You know how to drag something now. You know what the bottom feels like. You know kind of how to keep in contact with that bottom. You know how to twitch a bait, jerk baits, soft jerk baits, top waters, anything that requires twitching involved. You know how to twitch. You know what a bait feels like, twitching it. Mainly working on twitching it on slack line. And then those top water bites. Once summertime hits, or once you wanna get in game with the big dogs. Once you get that blow up, you know how to, oh, I gotta wait. Oh, now I feel the weight of the fish. I can set the hook. Dude, 3 hooks, 6 baits, and now you know how to fish everything. We do it the real way at the Real MVP. I had to teach myself. I ain't had nobody teach me none of this, so, this is all from me. This is all from my knowledge. Now, if you want to learn bass fishing, I recommend you listen and learn, or sit on the sideline and watch the big